Assalamu alaikum. Listen, it's a video that's going around on YouTube that kind of bothers me a little bit. The brothers are talking about the new generation of Muslims, preferably black Muslims, how the lack of morality that they believe they're exhibiting, the lack of Islamic value, and how they still got dunya in them. And they were criticizing the brothers, and the problem that I have is that most reverts, we come from somewhere. And what we come from is a jungle of confusion where the abnormal is normalized. See, I'm 61. I know you can't believe it, but I'm 61. No, real talk, I'm 61. And our generation, there was more morality and values. Even if our parents or people around us did things they weren't supposed to do, we really didn't see it. A small example is we said, ma'am, no ma'am, sir, yes sir. We seen Mrs. Jones, whom we called her. We didn't call her Dolores. We seen Miss Anderson, Miss Simmons. We called them Mr. and Mrs. Right? And when people fell into the street, because the abnormal is normalized in America. So when you fell into the street, people served their peers. If they was selling weed, smoking weed, doing illicit drugs, drinking alcohol, which is haram in Islam, but it's permissible in America. So all those things was normalized, but people party with their peers, sold to their peers, or bought from their peers. Now you take 10 years under us, and 20 years, they sold illicit drugs. And Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Taylor and Miss Elliott, for example, they was just, hi Lisa, hi Peggy. Understand? They didn't see them as figure of authority. And how can you see people of authority that you selling to? You selling to people 10, 15 years to you. In some cases, your grandmama and them out there. And this is the jungle of abnormal. This is the jungle of things that were normalized, that they come from. Imagine you having no holidays in America, no Christmas, no good Thanksgiving, birthdays not celebrated, because people in the house are either alcoholic or on drugs. And on the flip side, you have some people selling drugs who glorified it, right? Your father glorified it, sold it in front of their kids, the kids see it. The mother and them holding money, or they glorifying, they living out there and the kids see it. So where is the morality? Where is the value? Where is the example? But the beautiful thing is, Allah chose them to become Muslim. Now, as they're trying to find their way, whether it's coming from the penitentiary they found it, or where they found it in the street, where they found it in their house, in their heart, Allah chose them. So who are we to say they are not upholding the values of Islam? And when they go to the mosque and they have all these issues, who are helping them? What imams can help them? And most khutbahs are talking about a mushrik or things of that nature. How's that going to help someone when they get off work, when they get out of prison, can't even find a job? They got people demanding they get that money, pay bills, they got children. They got real issues in the home. And so where are the halakha classes that deals with those examples? Are we teaching the new generation to help them understand that Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and the early Muslims went through the most suffering that you can even imagine. Imagine, are they being told, for an example, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came back from a long journey, and at this time he was established The deen was established, and he came in, and the only thing his wife had for him was a date and sanam, which wasn't even nam then. It was that hard bread. And she was disappointed, and the Sahaba was like, go get this, go get that. He's the Rasul, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He should get the best, feed him. And the Rasul, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he say? This is sufficient for me. I said that to say these are the reminders that need to be told to the younger generations. Do you not think you're going to be tested when you say La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Do you not believe? Do you not understand you will be tested in your faith? And that test is dealing with the fitna of the world. Can you go without that money in your pocket? Can you go without that beautiful car? Can you go from a Mercedes to a Volvo? Can you ride the bus if you need be? It's going to be a lot of things that you have to prove to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're worthy, that you believe who you are. You are Muslim. You're submitting to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in that submission takes action. But are we helping with the brothers with the action? Are we putting up in the mosque where they feel comfortable coming to? Because it's hard to come around people when you're impoverished spiritually and everybody around you is richly strong in their deen, apparently from the outside. And you coming in with all this baggage. Are we helping them? Most mosques are not set up to try to help people like that. People like us. When you come from the mud, you're still going to have mud on you. So as we're trying to get cleansed, as we're trying to purify our soul, as we're trying to change in our action, beliefs, and thoughts, as leaders, are we helping them? And if you don't have any halakas or taleems, if you don't call it what you will, adult class, for the reverts, then you're part of the problem. And also, many brothers have come to me, man, how can I change my ways? And I see these Muslims own liquor stores. They come to the mosque and everybody greet them, Assalamu alaikum, kaifa hala bibi. And they greet it with such prestige. However, they own liquor stores, which just so happen to be in the black neighborhood. They're making all the money, but that's a subject for another day. Right? How? How can we tell them, just hold on, brother, just make this change? How can I make this change, brother? My family's starving, my kids need this. And these brothers over here got making $25,000 a day minimum selling illegal, illicit drugs in Islam publicly because it's okay in America. Again, the abnormal becomes the normal. How can we help brothers through this? How can we? Are we dealing with that? And many times, speaking for self, who's part of religious committees and bring it to the brothers and sit it on with different imams, and we go to these brothers, oh, let's come up with a business plan to help them change. But years go by and the same old, they still own the same liquor stores. And their families prospering, their kids going to college, and they living good, and they donating that haram money to the mosque on the low or publicly. Their brothers out here walking foot to cement, being on the deen, but hurting. So are we in a position as leadership, imams, imams, to help these brothers transition through this? And if we're not, who are we? Who are you to say you worried about, you condemn these brothers because they're moral values? They're coming from the mud. And if you help pulling them up, instead of criticizing, if you help them with their spirituality, help them find a job, help them move to higher education, if you give them guidance, you'd be surprised who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you and them. Everybody need a helping hand if you're not extending your hand to help them. then close your lips. Assalamu alaikum.